Imagine trusting your roommate with the rent money, handing over your half, thinking you're both responsible adults, keeping the roof over your heads, and then finding out they pocketed it, left you on the hook, and got themselves evicted. Yeah, this is one of those stories. So let's rewind. When I first moved in with this guy, I thought we were good friends, not best friends, but good enough that living together made sense. We had hung out at work, grabbed drinks a few times, and he seemed laid back. Rent was steep for one person, so splitting it was the obvious solution. At first, everything was fine. Rent got paid. We split utilities down the middle. We'd sometimes watch TV together after work or cook dinner on the weekends. On paper, it was the perfect arrangement. But living with someone always shows you sides you never noticed before. And with him, the cracks started showing pretty quickly. He was always broke. I'd ask if he wanted to order takeout and he'd mumble about waiting for payday. His shelf in the fridge usually had nothing but energy drinks and a couple of sad instant noodles. He'd borrow small amounts of money. Just $10, I'll pay you back tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow never came. Still, I brushed it off. I told myself everyone has rough patches. I wasn't going to be the uptight roommate keeping score over a few bucks. Then came the first late notice. One random Tuesday, I got home from work and found an envelope stuck in our door. I opened it and my stomach dropped. It was a notice from the landlord saying our rent was overdue. That didn't make sense. I had literally handed my half over to my roommate in cash the week before. When I asked him about it, he acted like it was no big deal. Oh, must be some clerical error. I'll call the landlord tomorrow. He was casual, almost dismissive, like I was making a mountain out of a molehill. But my gut told me something was off. The next month, it happened again. Another late notice, another angry voicemail from the landlord, and this time I pressed harder. Hey, I gave you my half a week early. What's going on? He snapped, got defensive. You're paranoid, man. I told you I paid it. Why don't you trust me? It was such an over-the-top reaction that I knew instantly he was lying. But I didn't have proof, not yet. Then one afternoon, the landlord himself came by to fix a leaky faucet. My roommate wasn't home, and while he was tightening the pipes under the sink, he casually asked me, "Are you planning to catch up on the missed rent soon?" My heart sank. Missed rent? What do you mean? He looked at me confused. You guys haven't paid for 2 months? That was the moment it all clicked. My so-called roommate had been taking my cash and never passing it on. I felt sick. Hundreds of dollars gone, trust shattered, and now my housing situation was hanging by a thread. I stopped giving him money immediately. From then on, I went straight to the landlord. I explained everything, how I'd been handing over my share in cash, how I had bank statements to prove I withdrew it every month. The landlord wasn't thrilled, but at least he believed me. Meanwhile, my roommate was still trying to play the victim. He spun lie after lie. First, he claimed I never gave him the money. Then he said I only gave partial amounts. Then he changed his story again and blamed bank issues. It was like watching a bad actor try to improvise their way through a script they hadn't read. And here's the thing about liars, they can't keep their stories straight. Every time I confronted him, the details shifted. One day he swore he paid by check. The next he said he paid cash. Then he said he gave it to a friend to drop off. It was a mess. The landlord wasn't buying it. Within weeks, he was served with an official eviction notice. I'll never forget his face. When he opened that envelope, his smug confidence just cracked. He tried to act tough, like it was no big deal, but you could see it in his eyes. He knew it was over, and here's the kicker. He actually had the nerve to beg me to cover for him. He came into my room one night, sat on the edge of my bed like we were old pals, and said, "Look, man, I just need one more chance. If you cover the next month, I'll pay you back double." I laughed in his face. "You think I'm stupid enough to give you more money after you stole from me?" He got angry, told me I was heartless, that I was ruining his life. But the truth was, he ruined it himself. Moving day came fast. The landlord gave him no extensions, and watching him drag his boxes down the hallway, muttering under his breath, was pure karma in motion. The best part, evictions don't just go away, they follow you. Landlords see it on your record, future rentals slip through your fingers, and jobs that require financial responsibility, forget about it. I stayed. He left, and I learned one of the hardest, most important lessons about trust. Here's the thing. We all want to believe the people around us are honest. We all want to think a friend wouldn't stab us in the back over money. But when bills are due and rent's on the line, you find out who someone really is. And if you think you can steal from the people who trust you, karma has a funny way of making sure you lose a lot more than just the money. And that's the story. So what do you think? Was I too harsh for cutting him off? Or would you have done the same thing? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you would have handled it. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I've got plenty more coming. Stories about betrayal, revenge, and justice served in the most unexpected ways. Thanks for listening. Until next time, take care. And don't let anyone walk off with your rent money.